Hello, I'm Paul Merchant, and today we're going to be looking at using our digital complexion range to achieve a real flawless, natural looking skin. So we start the preparation of the skin with the Clean and Care Natural Cleansing Oil. And we will start in the center and we're moving out as we swipe the impurities away from the center of the face. The cleansing oil contains a lot of natural ingredients, a lot of vegetable extract. It also has precious argan oils in there as well. All of the Clean and Care range is vegan friendly. The next step is we use the Clean and Care Natural Micellar Water. This is going to remove any of the remaining oil that's left on the skin from the cleansing. So if you're noticing that your foundation separates a little bit or it's not lasting as long, it could be because the remaining oils from your cleanser are still on your skin when you apply your foundation. I'm going to be using the Digital Complexion Primer for dry skin. This is going to give us a lot of nice hydration, and as you can see, they're really high performance products, so I'm not applying a lot of primer. You only need a very small amount of this primer to be really effective. You always want to make sure you're applying as less product as possible underneath the eye. This will prevent creasing of the makeup in the corners. Creasing is normally a problem for when you're overloading product around this area because the skin is so thin. It's always going to push the product back out. So next I'm going to be using our Digital Complexion Concealer. Now these are predominantly water-based concealers, but they also do contain some silicone, so they're really durable. So I'm just using the Digital Complexion Concealer to just neutralize any redness or anything that we want slightly a little bit more coverage on. I always have an application brush and then something softer acting like a stippling brush. But the key thing about achieving a really flawless finish, especially with digital complexion, is to make sure that you're using a stippling motion when you're applying. This will always give you much more of a natural impression because our skin isn't just one solid color, it's a whole flex of different tones throughout the face. So I'm using minimal amounts of the concealer. It's a really high performance product. What's really beautiful about the Digital Complexion range is that the pigments themselves have a really beautiful reaction to light. So they're very special pigments that actually absorb light rather than reflect them back to the camera. And what happens with that, because they absorb into these pigments, underneath lighting and on camera, these pigments start to glow. So what you end up seeing with the light reflection being diffused is that you get this really beautiful kind of Photoshop filter to the skin. A lot of people concentrate underneath the bottom lash line when they're concealing underneath the eye because they're assuming that darker circles that we can see here sometimes are the things that bring the eye down. A real good tip is making sure that you always conceal here in the top part of the corners of the eye. There's a lot of darkness there. As soon as we kind of replace that darkness with more brightness from the concealer, you'll see a nice lift there that opens up the eye and makes it appear a lot brighter. I'm now going to select the Digital Complexion Fluid Foundation in a combination of colours. I'm going to use the dual fibre stippling brush here. So I'm literally stippling our foundation on top of the surface of the skin. And then again, I'm going to come back to using a clean domed blending brush to press the foundation into the skin. But using this combination of techniques gives us a really nice natural impression finish to the skin. Again, the Digital Complexion Fluid Foundation contains these functional fillers that give you a really nice Photoshop finish to the skin. That's why the Digital Complexion series is designed for work on cameras or evenings or events where you're going to be having pictures taken. These functional fillers as well, they will always reduce the appearance of fine lines or open pores on the surface of the skin. I'm now going to use a soft blending brush and I'm just working over the surface of the foundation just for an extra blend into the skin. Working in small circular motions, just encouraging the connectivity into the skin. And then just with the remainder of what's on my brush, I'm just going to sweep that over the ears just to reduce any redness that can sometimes be from light coming from behind the ear. The next product I'm going to use is the Digital Complexion Cream Foundation. I'm going to be using this to achieve a natural contour underneath the cheekbones. I'm going to work in small little circles as I'm building the product. And I just want to bring a little bit of dimension to the face there. So again, I use my first blush to apply and my second clean brush to blend. In order to achieve a nice natural looking foundation, we need to make sure that we're replacing the natural shadows that the foundation would kind of brighten and take away from the skin. I'm not using very much, I'm literally just giving a small hint of colour along the jawline there, underneath the cheekbones and into the temples. I'm going to be using the Digital Complexion Neutralizer range. We're going to be using it today as a blusher. So I'm going to start just on the apple of the cheek. You want to basically build it out from the side of the corner of the eye. So we're focusing on the apple of the cheek first, and then I'm stippling it back upwards along the cheekbone and meeting into the hairline. And again, I've got one brush here to apply. Just stippling onto the apple of the cheek and up towards the hairline. And then I have this beautiful, soft, fluffy tail brush, just blending that into the cheekbone. Again, using blusher and your contour colors in other areas of the face just helps to bring like a natural flush back to the skin. She looks great. We're gonna add a few more final products to the skin, just to give us a nice, fresh, finished impression. From the Glamour Glow range, we're going to use Juicy Moon. It's a powder that gives a cream finish. So it gives us a real nice, soft impression. I'm going to be using eyeshadow matte colour M13M. And I'm just going to build that onto the mobile part of the eyelid. So we're just adding a little bit of warmth to the eyelid. From the same palette, I'm just going to use dark brown, and we're going to be defining underneath the bottom lash line. And just with the remainder of what's left on that brush, I'm just working it across the top lash line. I'm going to be using eyebrow powder. So I'll start by defining the brows from the bottom where the hair naturally starts, and then just press up through the brow hair. Through the brow hairs, I'm just going to apply the eyebrow forming gel in clear. This is just going to help to hold the natural hairs in place. Next, I'm going to apply the Lash Revolution mascara. This is just going to give us really nice black lash definition. For the lips, we're going to be using the new gel lip liner. We're going to use this to accentuate the natural lip colour and give us a little bit of warmth to the lip. So to finalise the lips, we're going to be using our lipstick sheer. This is a very slightly tinted lipstick, and it's going to complement that gel lip liner really beautifully. Thanks for watching our tutorial today. If you have any questions, please just ask them in the comments section, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.